Hi, this is Jen Barney with Meringue Bakery in La Crosse, Wisconsin. If you're trying to find a great chocolate chip recipe, this is one that is tried and true. I use it almost daily in the bakery. The origin of this recipe comes from the New York Times. I can't wait to show you how to make these super easy, super awesome chocolate chip cookies. The ingredients are 2½ sticks of butter, 1¼ cup of light brown sugar, dark brown is a great substitute as well, 1 cup of sugar, 2 eggs, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, 3 2/3 cups of flour, 1 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1 1/2 teaspoon baking powder, 1 1/4 teaspoon baking soda. For the chocolate chips, you can gauge. I would say at least 14 ounces, which is about 2 cups. The amount of chocolate I'm putting into this batch is 3 cups. To start mixing these cookies, we're going to first cream our butter and our sugar together. This is a classic way to start any cookie recipe. The important thing here is to have your butter at room temperature, and I'm going to want to beat this with a paddle for several minutes. It's important that you use a paddle, and it's also important that you continue to whip it until the texture is nice and creamy and fluffy. This is going to make for a really nice cookie in the end. While I'm waiting for this to cream, I'm going to add all of my dry ingredients together. I have my flour, my baking soda, baking powder, and salt. I'm going to whisk this with a fork until it's totally combined and there's no lumps. This batter looks like I'm ready to add the eggs and the vanilla. I'm going to add them one at a time, and I'm going to continue to beat them until they're fully incorporated. Now we move on to adding the dry ingredients. The most important part here is not to overmix. Overmixing is bad because it can cause your cookie to become dry. I'm going to mix this on a low speed until it just comes together, and I'm going to finish it by adding all of our amazing chocolate chips. I'm ready to evenly portion these onto a full sheet pan. One of the best tips I can give you when making cookies is to portion them all evenly. This way, when you put it into the oven, they'll all bake at the same exact time. These will go into a 350-degree oven for about 14 minutes. All ovens bake at different times, so keep an eye on them. You're looking for the outer portions just to brown slightly. Have you ever heard me talk about the sacrifice cookie? This is a technique that has saved me so much time and frustration over the years, and this is how it works. The first time you make any type of cookie or cupcake, you test one out in the oven. And what this does is it allows you to see how much it spreads and how long it takes to bake. This way, when you have your full sheet of cookies, you know exactly how far to space them out and how long to set that timer for. And if you're questioning whether or not to pull them from the oven because they're so close to being done, I err on the side of pulling them because I feel like it's better to underbake a cookie than to overbake. That way your centers will be nice and gooey when it cools down. One of the reasons why I like this recipe so much is that it freezes really well. So if you want to roll these into logs and put them into the freezer, or if you wanted to, you could individually portion them and put them into a Ziploc freezer bag. I do this often if I only want to bake off a half a batch at a time, or sometimes I'll do double batches at a time and I'll put the second half into the freezer. That way the next time company comes over, I can just quickly pull it out and it's ready to go. Thank you so much for listening how to make these really good chocolate chip cookies. This is Jen Barney with Meringue Bakery. As always, if you'd like to hear what Brian and I have been up to at our bake shop, please visit us at our website at www.meringuecakes.com. Have a wonderful day.